According to Huffington Post, 55% of North Americans would call higher authorities right after being robbed, followed by 33% fighting back.
We decided to have a look at what the next generation had to say regarding this topic, so who better to ask but the students at MCI?
If the man is stronger than me, I would not fight back. I would just let him take it. If he's weaker than me, if he's like a little kid, I'll just try to fight back.
I would run for my life.
We'd fight back because we have black belts.
I would run.
I wouldn't be able to fight back or run away, since I don't feel like I'm a strong person or a fast runner. My only option would to be call higher authorities, whether it be the police or the ambulance.
My greatest asset is my morality. I would never be able to fight back, so I would probably call the police.
After collecting the sample data of students at MCI, we concluded that teenagers would most probably call higher authorities.
We wanted to find out what the current generation had to say regarding this topic, so we asked the teachers and faculty of MCI.
Obey the masked man and do whatever you ask me to do. Give him my wallet, my purse, whatever.
Well, try to subdue them and call 911.
I always thought about what to do to prevent a robbery. I would aim for the person's eyes, but you said they're masked, so grab that, hit the person at a place where they know they would need to work on protecting, and then eventually try to escape.
After collecting the sample data of adults in MCI, we concluded that adults would most likely retaliate against felons. We see that the upcoming generations have a different method of dealing with crime versus the current generation. The question is, which method is more effective?
In a Waterloo study, victims of crime who retaliate on the most part tend not to regret doing so. Most participants said that their pride is of higher importance than safety.
In an additional Waterloo study, most victims of crime who did not retaliate but instead called the police regretted so. They never received their stolen items back because by the time the police arrived to the scene, it was too late.
It seems people on the most part regret not fighting back. Is it to conclude that retaliation is the answer? Before we conclude anything, let's have a look at what a Canadian sociologist has to say.
The odds of you acquiring your items back if you rely on the police are slim. Retaliating might conclude in injury or death. It is better to convince the robber not to do so. However, the thief might not want to talk. If retaliation and calling authorities are the only two options, and if you believe you could physically confront the felon, do so.
It was about a year ago when I was robbed. It was on a Saturday morning and I was at the park. How I dealt with it was I gave the man what he wanted, which was my iPhone, and I called the police. Obviously they weren't able to track the item back because it had been too late, and I regret fighting back.
By all means, if you believe you can take on the person robbing you, go for it. It sure beats having the police having to deal with it. Odds are we probably won't get your items back.
So from what we've seen so far, is it better to retaliate, defend yourself, walk away, or immediately call for higher authorities? As far as retaliation goes, there's a higher chance of reacquiring your items compared to the other methods, as well as no loss of dignity. The cons are possibility of body harm. As far as calling higher authority goes, it is your best chance of no bodily harm being done, but the cons are a probable loss of items and the loss of your dignity. In regards to running away, you will be safe from bodily harm, but the cons are a definite loss of item and the loss of dignity. After listening to the responses of Canadian teenage students, adults, sociologists, an actual victim, and a police officer, we can conclude different things. All sources believe running away is not the answer. Some people believe it is proper to immediately call for higher authorities. However, most people agree that the victim of crime should attempt to retaliate if no weapon is present. Why does the idea of fighting back such have a negative perception by society? Do people have this view due to the relative violence in video games, media, and music videos? Nevertheless, the ultimate action to take in these type of scenarios is retaliation.